This is MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards.
All right, welcome to another episode of MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards. It's Sticky. MJ's not here again, so we brought her BFF, Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Sticky.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you excited to be here?
I'm very excited.
You're the permanent guest host.
That is so flattering.
And Sean?
I am annoyed because every time MJ's out, you just take over and lead the show.
Yeah.
Sean could
Like
lead the
you're
show.
the secondary boss.
You could do it.
I'm the low man on the totem pole,
You-
and I think I'm the most valuable player.
You would probably be better at it than me. And frankly, I hate doing it, to be honest,
Why do you do it?
because I need to feel loved. I need to feel value.
Okay, you
I
could just before we go on, you could say, "Hey, man, bring us in,"
I feel no value.
and I would say, "Hello."
All right, do it now.
I just did.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey,
Welcome to another
Sean.
episode of MJ and the Boys. Sticky, how's it going today?
I don't know.
MJ is out again. She's got some craziness going on with, bird flu or something.
There's
Who knows?
no listen. MJ said she had to, because of Thanksgiving and where she works, that she has to work.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I do not believe her. I think, and I don't blame her because traffic's really heavy or whatever. But there's no way she's at work right
No.
now.
She says she
she's-
has like 27 jobs. That can't be true.
There's
She's
no
at
way.
home rolling around in her pillow fort.
So, so this week is Thanksgiving. Are you guys ready for Thanksgiving?
Sure, I like turkey.
Define ready. Mentally ready, or do I have all the stuff I have to get to
Mentally.
Thanksgiving? Oh yeah,
Mentally
I'm
ready.
Always, it's a giant holiday where I eat and watch football.
All right. Well, I've got. I'm gonna get our Thanksgiving show kicked off with a fat bitch.
Right on.
All right.
Woohoo.
Nothing I like better than getting pissed off at Thanksgiving.
Now it's time for the MJ and the boys fat bitch. That's fat with a PH, and bitch is a verb.
Hey, Grandma, your hashtag no devices Thanksgiving can hashtag blow me. You know why everyone that comes over wants to bring their device? Because your house is fucking boring. Yeah, we'd all rather bury our noses in our iPads than listen to you ramble on about how gasoline used to cost a nickel. Yeah, you are just bitter because technology is scaring and confusing to you. So you can take your no devices rule and cram it up your dusty old analog twat.
Nice timing.
Thank you.
And you practice that.
I
Didn't you?
practice it in the car all the way over here. Also, I
really-
don't have a grandma.
No devices rule at Thanksgiving.
That's
is that
a
a
thing
thing?
now. Yeah, it's a thing now. No devices Thanksgiving. Hashtag no devices Thanksgiving. Which I find ironic because
Yeah,
to do a hashtag, you need a
have to have a
device of
device.
some
Yeah.
kind. Yeah. What's the worst thing about Thanksgiving for you? I'll tell you what it is for me.
Oh, please do.
The worst thing about Thanksgiving for me is not what you would probably think it would be, which, is like,
You can't have any of the desserts.
no, I can't. Oh, that's really hard for me. Actually, my family lets me smell their plates. But
That's creepy.
yeah.
That is super creepy.
No, the worst part about Thanksgiving is listening to other people tell you about why their Thanksgiving is so much better. Oh, my grandma makes the best stuffing and she puts chocolate covered peanuts in it, whatever. It's like,
Yeah, that sucks. Like if I was to tell you I have the best turkey ever because I smoke it on the grill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, your spatchcock, whatever.
Spatchcocked turkey.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Spatchcock
like
smoked
everybody,
turkey.
it's like whenever somebody says to you, well, like at work or whatever, and they go, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? What they're really saying is, I'm going to ignore you for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm doing for Thanksgiving,
Yes.
right? And I hate that. I don't care. Great, your family's from West India, and you're having curry. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's great. That's cool. But,
So what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
well, we make a lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your traditional Italian family.
We do.
Traditional
We do make a
Italian
lasagna
Thanksgiving.
usually, or gnocchi.
Potato dumplings.
Potato dumplings is what
Mjolnir.
is what
Yeah.
you white people would call it. Not
You're
Mjolnir.
white, Sticky.
You made it sound just like you make Mjolnir sound.
It's got the same. It's got
Gnocchi.
two. It's got two consonants in a row. Mjolnir is MJ and gnocchi is GN.
Did you say consonants?
Constant. And he also said gnocchi.
Consonants.
Gnocchi.
consonants?
No, you've put an extra T in there. It's not there. Consonants.
Consonants.
Conso. Man, and you want to be a professional radio star.
Well, fortunately, we have a list of 45 very gratifying facts about Thanksgiving.
We actually have a list of about 17 gratifying things.
45's too many. Thanksgiving
45
isn't
too
that
many.
interesting.
It's really not.
No. It's just
Consonants?
consonants.
Consonant. I can't.
Consonants and vowels. Consonants.
I can't say that.
You just want to add T's to every word.
Consonants.
Consonants.
Consonants. Consonants. That's a very awkward sounding word.
And vowels.
Let's just stick with yonkies and yoniers.
Consonants and vowels.
So, in 1953, Swanson overestimated the number of frozen turkeys it would sell on Thanksgiving by 26 tons. The company decided to slice up the extra meat and repackage it, creating the first ever TV dinner.
That's where TV dinners
Yeah.
came from? That's actually kind of cool.
That is a cool fact, but whoever cooked those 26 tons of extra turkeys did a really shit job because Swanson's TV turkey dinner is
Yeah, it doesn't really taste like
Garbage.
food.
But in
garbage.
1953, it was. No, 1953.
It may have been delicious
was
in
right.
1953,
Yeah.
sure. This is one of my favorites. Black Friday, the busiest day for Roto-Rooter,
God.
the major plumbing service. They're called in to clean up, quote, overwhelmed sewer systems.
That is horrible.
That's a brilliant,
To me,
brilliantly
it was.
gratifying fun fact.
Did you know the night before Thanksgiving is the biggest drinking night of the year, even bigger than St. Patrick's Day or New Year's Eve?
Oh, that is no surprise.
It's hard to believe. Really? It's no surprise to you?
yeah.
Oh,
it's
no.
It's a little surprising on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I think that people on St. Patrick's Day are out at like a bar doing some big
Yeah.
celebration, whereas this is like, I have to spend a day with my family drinking. It's quieter. It's
And-
probably a lot more.
And you're probably at home, not at a bar, so you're
Yeah.
like you've got the whole gallon.
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
liter of
Like,
Jack
I've
Daniels or
got-
whatever.
You're
You know, a
alone,
bottle of
hitting
bourbon.
straight out of the bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes
You
sense.
don't want to dirty a glass. Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
No,
Did
yeah.
you know that the Pilgrims did not wear buckled hats or dress only in black and white? Buckles did not come into fashion until later in the 17th century, and the Pilgrims usually saved their formal black and white colors for Sunday.
Oh,
So
Much like disco stars. They saved their formal black and whites for when they were in concert.
that's
Thanksgiving is ranked as America's second most popular holiday. Now, do you know what the most popular holiday is?
that's got to be Christmas. This is a
Arbor
Christian
Day, right?
nation.
It is Flag Day.
Flag Day.
Flag Day. Oh, well, there are many different cool flags.
Yeah, it's actually Christmas. Yes.
I don't like Thanksgiving at all. It's like the most boring holiday. Approximately 50 million people watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade on television.
Which makes it the most boring holiday.
No shit, man.
That's terrible television.
Who wants to watch a parade? I mean, why?
Nobody. I
On
don't
TV?
know.
And like the highlight of the parade is like a balloon. Look, there's the Woody Woodpecker balloon.
I dig the Woody Woodpecker balloon.
The Spider-Man balloon. That's the hot. I mean, that shows you how entertaining it is when you get
Yeah.
excited because a balloon came.
I like it when my local high school band shows up.
Has that happened?
There have been bands from around here going
Yeah.
up to
Yeah, I
Macy's,
guess I sort of remember that.
I don't remember who, but I think the
Lafayette
band was
High
up
School.
there,
Yep.
It's just
That's
a bunch
from
of noise
Lexington,
till the
Kentucky.
football starts.
Thanksgiving
Exactly.
is ranked as America's second most popular holiday. No,
We
nothing?
already read that.
No, I was just seeing if you would notice, if you were listening to me, instead of just checking to see what the next thing you got to read was. The average American will consume about 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving Day.
Damn.
It's about 3,000 for the meal, and then about 1,500 more for snacking
Wow.
throughout the afternoon.
4,500 calories. That's 2 days worth
That's
of
2
food.
days. Well, that's 2 days worth of food for a hefty
Yeah.
Yeah.
calorie eater.
They didn't mention booze calories in
They
that
did not. I
statistic.
don't think
So
those
I would
count.
imagine it's even higher.
Probably, yeah.
Because
I don't think booze count as calories on Thanksgiving.
Not on Thanksgiving.
Okay, now it is my favorite holiday. Are you serious?
The Butterball Turkey Hotline answers over 100,000 questions every November and early December, I guess, for Christmas.
Oh, or for people who
I didn't know there was a turkey hotline. That's hilarious.
I guess if you don't know how to make a turkey, you have to ask somebody.
this one's odd. The song Jingle Bells is terrible.
No, that's not what it says, Sean.
Oh, sorry. The song Jingle Bells was originally written as a Thanksgiving song.
Yeah.
Because it used to snow a lot around Thanksgiving.
Dashing through the
Dashing
snow
through the
on a
snow.
one-horse open sleigh.
Headed to Grandma's.
Over the hill we go to Grandma's house.
Laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Bells on bobtails ring.
Yeah, it's about Thanksgiving. I wrote a Thanksgiving carol one time. It was called Plucky the Condemned Turkey.
Oh, that sounds real like a happy tune.
It didn't have a happy ending. At the end, everybody ate him.
Well, as
Their
they do.
bellies were full, so that's happy.
The let's see here. Should I just let's skip ahead?
Yeah.
Let me skip way down here to number 23. Now, A Thanksgiving dinner staple, cranberries were actually used by Native Americans to treat arrow wounds and to dye clothing.
Huh.
That's kind of great. That's a fun fact.
It is a fun fact. I didn't know cranberries had antiseptic properties.
Gratifying fact. What's the next one? Okay.
Number 25.
Americans eat roughly 535 million pounds of turkey on Thanksgiving.
Ugh.
It's too much.
535 million. How much? Do you not like turkey, Sticky? You made a.
I like it.
You've just never had it the way I cook it.
Spatchcocked.
Spatchcocked. And
Smoked.
And smoked.
Smoked and spatchcocked. Yeah, I'd like that.
Which one do you think I do first?
I don't like how disturbingly dirty spatchcock sounds. I noticed it last week, and it's getting worse now that I'm in the room.
I think you would simultaneously spatchcock and smoke it, wouldn't you?
I do the spatchcocking, but it takes a long time
see.
because I have to do it really slow. A slow spatchcocking for the turkey. Got to get all the innards out.
Oh, my.
I think I'm going to call the Butterball turkey line. And
my co-host is trying to...
Hey, I was trying to spatchcock my turkey, and I got my penis stuck inside.
Oh, my God.
What'd I do?
Dude.
You're going to make someone's day who has to work the 24-hour turkey line at Butterball on Thanksgiving.
We should have thought about that earlier. That would have been a great bit for this show. Here's something for you, Carrie. The first Thanksgiving football game was in 1876.
Oh, wow. That's way earlier than I would have anticipated.
I have no more details on that.
How did they televise it?
I don't. No, they.
I know.
Well, I imagine it was the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings.
So nobody wanted to watch it anyway?
The Lions got shut out again.
I also like how you turn into Cliff Clavin towards the end of these lists. Here's a little interesting fact for you, Carrie.
I like Cliff Clavin.
Well, come on, Norm. Read the next one.
I've lost myself again.
Number 30.
Number 32. In 1920, Gimbel's Department Store in Philadelphia, the world-famous Gimbel's Department Store in Philadelphia, held a parade with about 50 people and Santa Claus bringing up the rear. Isn't that more of a conga line than a parade?
How dare they have Santa
If you're in a
Claus bring
street,
up
you're a
the rear?
parade.
That parade is now known as the 6 ABC IKEA Thanksgiving Day Parade and is the nation's oldest Thanksgiving Day parade.
Well, we don't know how old this list is.
6 ABC IKEA Thanksgiving Day Parade.
It might
That's
not
a
be named that
shitty
right now.
parade name.
Established in 1924, Macy's Thanksgiving Parade is the second oldest Thanksgiving parade. The Snoopy balloon has appeared in the parade more often than any other character. More than 44 million people watch that parade on TV. Earlier, we said 50 million people. Now it's 44 million. Whatever.
Well, you know.
And 3 million people
3 million in
attend
person. That's
yeah.
getting close.
It's gotten less popular as we've gone along here.
Oh, Sean, go to number 36 here.
That's where I was headed,
Okay.
Captain.
This is fantastic.
Baby turkeys are called poults. Only male turkeys gobble and therefore are called gobblers.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lady turkeys are worthless and don't have a name. Apparently.
Shut up, you bolt. It's like such a.
How come only male turkeys can gobble?
It sounds like a racist thing, doesn't it? Two polts walk into a bar.
I think that's where the
It's-
term poultry comes from. But why don't female turkeys get to gobble?
Yeah.
I'm not touching that. With,
My wife got attacked by a turkey one time.
of course. Your wife, not you?
Yeah, believe it or not, I was spared.
Were you standing behind her?
I
You
was
ran away, didn't you?
Standing on the porch of the cabin, laughing so hard I almost peed as the turkey chased her down the dirt road. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. She was crying.
That is hilarious.
Long before pilgrims, the native Hawaiians celebrated the longest Thanksgiving in the world, Makahiki, which lasted 4 months, approximately from November to February. During this time, both work and war were forbidden. Damn, that is
Balls, yeah,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah.
It's
Can't
like a
work, can't war.
3-month vacation just to eat.
And they live in Hawaii, so they're already on vacation.
Yeah, they live every day on vacation, those fuckers.
I don't know
that's
why
awesome.
we put down that we were going to do 41 because it's stupid. So I'm going
I
to go
just
to
thought it was
44.
interesting.
The Friday after Thanksgiving is called Black Friday, largely because stores hope the busy shopping day will take them out of the red and into the positive profits.
That's correct.
Black
Yeah.
Friday has been a tradition since the 1930s when people didn't have money, which is odd.
Yeah. But
I guess they had.
Nobody had any money
Yeah.
in the 1930s.
I mean, it was the Great Depression. I guess the stores needed to do whatever they could to get the Jode family's money.
I mean, if this is
So
depression,
they
I
did
would think
massive
Christmas
markdowns,
gifts are
yeah.
off the table. It's like
Yeah.
we're trying to feed the baby. Stop buying bullshit.
All right. And so finally, Thanksgiving is often considered the site of the first cultural war because it contains both a narrative of the birth of freedom and democracy, as well as an account of racism and mistreatment of Native Americans and conflict.
Yeah, duh.
Wonk, wonk. Man, Thanksgiving sucks.
That's really the reason why I wanted to skip 41 so that I didn't have to read that one.
I should have read that all the way through before I chose to read that one. Because I just read the first line. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds good.
It's probably good. We don't want to be all happy-go-lucky when we know it was part of, Native American genocide.
Right.
So.
No,
I mean, I like turkey as much as the next person, but let's not pretend that we're all good people.
I can't argue with you. I'm like, look, I don't care about Thanksgiving. I think it's any excuse to watch football, not work,
Exactly.
and eat
Day off,
copious
huge
amounts
meal.
of food. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I'll go along with it. Probably not the
Yeah,
right thing.
and after Thanksgiving, you don't have incontinence.
No,
You're not incontinent.
I'm not incontinent because I eat properly.
Only because you have to.
So we decided that in honor of Thanksgiving, we were going to do songs about birds because typically you eat a bird on Thanksgiving. Poor turkey.
Yep.
Yeah, a turkey, a Cornish game hen if you're a lonely
a
person.
turducken if you're a big fat ass. You
turducken
take
if
a
you're John
turkey
Madden.
and a duck and you
And a chicken.
And a chicken.
You stuff a chicken in a duck and stuff that in a turkey.
It's
Is that the
horrible.
order?
Yeah, I think that's right. So we decided
I like a good lamb turducken.
a lamb
When you stuff
turducken.
everything inside of the lamb.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a new one on me. That
I've
sounds
never
delicious.
made
I like
I
it.
was going to say.
I just
like
made
an
it up. I
ass
assume.
turducken when I stuff it all in my ass. Carrie,
You're eating it
what
backwards.
is your song about about birds?
Okay. There are a lot of songs about birds. It was hard to decide, but I picked this awesome disco one-hit wonder called Fly, Robin, Fly by Silver Connection.
Fly, Robin, fly.
birdhouse in your soul. I love They Might Be Giants, but my God, it's so
Stop.
cheerful.
Okay, that's enough of that. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks for coming in here. and
You're
playing that
welcome.
song.
I always come in with the things you guys like the most.
If you're interested if you want to go to YouTube, this goes on for 3.5 more minutes.
No chorus or verses at all. No
So-
story.
Welcome back to MJ and the Boys, you lucky bastards. MJ's BFF Carrie is filling in. She picked that song. Carrie, why don't you recap? What is this song that we're listening to?
It's just a crazy disco one-hit wonder, and it's the only song I can think of that's about the actual, like, robin, like a red bellied bird.
Okay, so
It's a bird song. I thought it was
bird
cute.
songs, and that was Silver Connection with Fly, Robin, Fly.
Fly, Robin, Fly.
It goes on.
I actually do like disco music. I'm a weirdo.
Okay, yes, you are. But that's why you're here.
Yeah.
And that's why we love you.
Thank you, Sticky.
So, what are we
That
doing
was
now?
we're doing the MJ and the Boys Big Five.
The MJ and the Boys Big Five.
Now, why do we choose this topic?
Well, Star Wars is coming out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. It's coming out in a few weeks.
It's 3 weeks.
The latest Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. There's a big promotional blitz on right now. So I thought this would be a good time. And MJ's not here, so it makes it a better time because
She wouldn't
Carrie
be able
will
to
actually
She
take
doesn't
it
watch
seriously
sci-fi
and,
movies.
and knows
Yeah.
what a sci-fi movie is.
Okay.
Big Five sci-fi movies,
Big Five sci-fi.
which was an incredibly difficult list to make
so hard.
because there are so many.
Really? I have
Yeah.
no problem at all making my
you
list.
had the
Of course
easiest
you did.
time, so please
Okay.
lead
well,
us off.
Yeah, you should go first because this was hard.
'Cause
Okay.
I think she and I may get into a
Look at my list.
long-winded.
Okay, so here's the thing with my list. One, I think you guys are right. There's so many sci-fi movies. I decided to limit myself. No superhero movies and no movies that take place in outer space. Okay, so I put that restriction on me.
You're doing a sci-fi list with no movies
No
that take
superheroes,
place
which are
off planet.
Superheroes are fantasy movies.
And that's sort of what I thought about the outer space thing.
And
too.
outer space is you're just making everybody earthbound sci-fi.
That's just what I decided to do
That's fine.
because it's so easy. There's so many outer space, but I did put some outer space ones on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
So here my honorable mentions would be in the other room. The Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, and Total Recall were my 3 honorable mentions.
okay.
Okay.
Aliens.
Part 2, Aliens.
Part 2.
Aliens.
All right. So here's number 5.
Okay.
Also, one more thing. Often I try to make my list with the intention of infuriating Mary Jane.
Sure.
And I know that you won't get infuriated. You're much more level-headed
I'm a
than
little more mellow than her.
yeah, a little,
I can
a little bit.
I can gin up some
Okay,
some
just
infuriation.
keep that.
If
in
you
the
say
back of
something
your mind.
stupid, I'll get mad. I
All right,
promise.
well, here we
If you
go.
put Back to the Future on it, I'll get mad.
I did put a time travel movie on.
Oh,
my-
is it Time Cop? Come on, Time
here we
Cop.
go. Number
Time Cop.
5.
Time Cop.
Edward Scissorhands.
That's a fantasy movie.
Yeah, that's not a sci-fi movie. That's a fantasy
Why not?
movie.
He
What are
uses
the science fiction element?
He uses science to create a boy.
Well, no, he has a boy with no hands and puts scissors
He's
on him.
got
Does he?
a cookie heart.
Oh, does he? I guess I don't remember the beginning because I didn't
A cookie
care
heart.
that much.
That's
I don't know.
not science.
It's science fiction. Edward Scissorhands.
all
number
right,
5.
So we don't need
Scissorhands.
MJ because you're going to make a stupid list.
Yeah.
Correct.
Good.
Yes, it only gets worse from there if you can believe. Actually, no, this one's legit. Planet of the Apes,
Yeah,
1968
Planet of the Apes is
or
a
whatever.
classic sci-fi movie.
Spoiler alert: they're on Earth.
What?
Number 3. I love Planet of the Apes. By the way, the original Planet of the Apes, not just a kooky movie where a guy goes and fights ape people,
Yeah.
but a really poignant look at society at the time. It dealt with racism and
That's true. It was a big allegory about, the way they were handling the civil rights movement.
yeah,
It was.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, you just said it much more eloquently than I could have possibly said it. That's exactly right. That's why I love that movie. Number 3, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is Mary Jane's
This is,
list.
this
That's
is,
a-
yeah, I
what
feel
are
like
you talking
Melissa's
about?
just
That's
sitting
like the
here, but she has a
greatest-
beard now.
You mean she didn't
Now.
shave her beard?
Oh, MJ, I never said that.
Earl is
man.
not her beard.
Okay, this one I'm not. This one's I'm not sure if it's science fiction. I think it is
I'm not
Why
sure
is
if
it on
any
your
of these are
list?
science
because I
fiction.
think it is.
Okay.
The Running Man.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you
set
That
in
is
the
a
future.
science fiction
It's-
movie.
Okay, the Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and obviously Richard Dawson's in it, so that right there makes it the greatest movie of all time. I don't think he's in any other movie, so that
So Hogan's
wonder
Heroes
why.
is the greatest TV show ever made. Because
no,
Richard
Family
Dawson's
Feud
in it.
is Family Feud. Hogan's Heroes top 5, and then Match Game with any episode.
Oh, yeah, that he is
Match
on
Game
the
is
panel.
fantastic.
Oh my god! And then finally, I think you guys are really gonna like this because this one I went straight up science with. It's all
Okay.
science.
Science.
The Man with Two Brains.
Oh, I love that movie.
Do I understand you correctly? You want me to remove your brain and put it in a tank with number 21?
Yes, we can communicate. We're in love. That's the only way we can be together. Put me in a tank.
There is an alternative. You know, my research has advanced to a point where I can put her mind into the body of a gorilla.
I couldn't fuck a gorilla.
I do like that movie.
He didn't
No,
want to
it's,
put it in a gorilla because he couldn't fuck the
a
gorilla.
Yeah, because he wants to. He's like, if she's not
that's-
gonna have a body, I don't need a body. But if she's gonna have a body, I want it to be fuckable. I mean,
Right, exactly.
oh,
Thank
Steve
you.
Martin.
It's stretching the definition a little bit. But yeah, it fits.
All right.
It creeps in under the wire barely.
See, it's probably more of a comedy than a science fiction.
Yeah.
I feel like
go
my
on.
list is so pedestrian now. Should I go next, Sean?
Yeah, go
or-
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. And feel free to mention your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I have a couple honorable mentions because this
I have
was
about
by
26.
far the hardest category I've had since I've been subbing in. I'm taking Star Wars, Empire, Jedi, Force Awakens, and Rogue One. I'm throwing them all together into one big thing I'm calling Star Wars, and that gets an honorable mention.
Okay.
Now, the prequels are not in there for a very specific reason. Anyone who likes those movies can suck my asshole. Back to the Future 1, 2, and
Said, "I
3.
like the movies.
And that's a punishment. Okay, go on.
Okay. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. I'm grouping those together and putting them as an honorable mention. And then I've got a Total Recall. And then the only maybe weird one on my list as an honorable mention, Attack the Block. Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
It's fantastic.
But I watched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes just the other day.
Attack the Block is it's set in London, like their version of the projects, and these like ghetto kids fight aliens. They're just some of the best aliens I've seen in
Okay.
20 years. It's newer and it's really
what year
good.
did that come out?
2011, 2012.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
something in there. It's very, very good. It's actually the guy who plays Finn.
It is Finn from the Star Wars movies.
He's the lead
John
character.
Boyega. And the secondary character is the new Doctor on Doctor.
Yeah, yeah. It's got
Jodie
some good
Whittaker.
British people
All
in
right,
it.
we'll look that one up.
Okay, those are really good. Watch Attack the Block. The rest of them you've heard. Here we go. My list. Number 5, and these are pretty predictable. Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4, The Terminator.
Ugh. Well, part 1?
Part 1.
Yeah, part 1 good.
Part
Okay.
1. The Terminator. It's almost perfect movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
When
Number
you're 10,
3.
it's really scary.
Number 3. Alien.
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 Okay.
Alien.
So we disagreed there a little bit.
Yeah. Number 2. The Fly.
With Jeff Goldblum?
With Jeff
or with
Goldblum.
Vincent Price?
No, Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
It's just so gross. Like just the sci-fi
you ever
effects
see
are
the Vincent Price
disgusting.
one?
Yes, and it's just not as gooey.
They just put his head on a fly.
I know. No, I like the gooiness of Jeff Goldblum literally
Oh,
falling
yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
And then
Guy's
all
arms
good. I
off.
have to admit.
number 1, hands down, leaps and bounds above the others on my list, Galaxy Quest.
What?
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
Tim-
Quest. Tim Allen,
Tim
Alan
Allen
Rickman,
movie?
Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
That's your number 1 favorite sci-fi movie of all time?
Of
for real?
all time. It is the funniest. It's great. Like they're supposed to, they're supposed to be the cast of Star Trek, and then these aliens think that they're actually superhero or
Right.
starfighting heroes, and they suck them up off of Earth and take them out into the universe, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay, fight evil for us because you're super good at it. We saw your tapes.
I
And then
wonder-
they turn into heroes in space.
Did that movie come out before or after the episode of Futurama where that exact same thing happened?
I think before. The movie's
One of
from
the-
like 98 or something.
But Futurama came out in the 90s too, didn't it?
They're around the same time, 98.
One of those is a ripoff of the other, and now I need to know. Okay, Sean,
All right, my honorable mentions.
that's shocking to me. By the
my
way.
honorable mentions. are
Oh, it's so
incredibly
good.
long.
You obviously haven't watched it enough.
Galaxy Quest was in my honorable mention.
Boom. I love Sean.
But he put 30 movies in his honorable mention.
Not 30.
Look how long my list was, and I narrowed it down to 4
I'm reading
honorable
them all
mentions.
too. Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein are both honorable mentions.
Excellent.
The Abyss.
The Abyss is on my list.
Let's see.
Just power through the honorables.
Aliens, Predator, Jurassic Park, Empire Strikes Back, 12 Monkeys, Fifth Element, Independence Day, Repo Man, and The Fly.
Oh my God, so many of them. Those are on my list.
All good.
All right,
None
so-
as good as Hot Tub Time.
So my 5, I did have to put a limiter on myself in order to get it whittled down to. Oh, Blade Runner also honorable mention. Blade Runner, the final cut.
Okay.
Yeah, people who like Blade Runner will understand.
Okay.
There are many versions.
So I made my big 5 all alien or alien invasion movies.
Okay.
Ah.
That's your jam.
Number 5, Pacific Rim.
Okay.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Number 4, They Live.
Oh, fantastic movie.
With Rowdy
With
Roddy Piper.
John Carpenter movie.
Wow. That's just 2 weeks in a row we referenced that movie. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Number 3, Attack the Block.
Oh my God, that made your top 5?
It absolutely
God, I
did.
like you more every time I come here.
Number 2, The Thing. Another John Carpenter
The Thing was
movie.
also on my list.
And number 1, far and away, both the best sci-fi movie and the best horror movie ever made. Ridley Scott's Alien.
Boom.
Alien.
Alien.
You know what sucks about this?
Yeah, none of your movies are making it onto the final list.
Wrong.
Yeah, I
I
was
will
just thinking
fight
that.
to the tooth and nail for one. But
Now I'm curious about which one. None of those are good.
what sucks about this is
I mean,
Planet of the
aliens,
Apes,
I
I
guess.
hope.
Well, yeah.
when we first started doing this, like the first year we were doing this show, and Carrie was just a fan of ours.
Yes.
Right? And we'd never met her, and we didn't know who she was. And
Yeah, there's
Mary Jane would
there's 2 of me now.
Mary Jane, and she would just be like, my friend with big boobs, Carrie, listens all the time,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I was Carrie's favorite.
Yeah.
Carrie tuned into the show to listen to me.
Oh, I used to ask her what was going to be on nerd stuff.
And
I'd see her.
now-
I'd be like, what's Sticky going to talk about this week?
Now you are Carrie's favorite.
And now I show up and Sean and I agree on almost everything.
I'm no longer... Now,
I can't believe how much
Now-
our lists are the same.
You're still my favorite.
unless I'm related to the person, I'm not... There's
This
no
is
one-
crazy, though.
no
I
one
mean,
who
I had
listens
12 Monkeys.
is-
I
I'm their
did this,
favorite.
The Thing. I had Fifth Element.
All right, listen.
Total Recall.
You're my favorite.
You guys, you got to give me Running Man. No, it's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he's also in Terminator, which is a way better movie, or Total Recall, which was on
alright.
both of our honorable mentions.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet
a
of the Apes
classic
should
of
probably be
classics.
on
I'll give you Planet of
Planet of the
Planet
Apes should probably
number
be on
5,
there.
Planet of the Apes.
Go to.
Even though it's
Number 5.
it's an allegory.
It is.
Yeah,
It's an allegory.
An allegory for the 60s hippies.
I would have
And it's happening.
I would have
it's
said
happening.
that. If I had known what the word allegory meant, I would have mentioned
Hey, but
that.
now you do. You learn something every day.
Yeah. Planet of the Apes. It's an allegory. It's very allegorious.
Allegorical.
Now, what's it's allegorialant. What else? So we had
Allegorical.
everybody had aliens. So I guess you guys want Alien at number one.
Alien.
Yeah,
Alien.
Alien is more sci-fi than Aliens.
Yeah,
I think.
Aliens made my honorable mentions, but Alien is the one that makes the list.
All right then.
I think we may have to put Attack the Block on it.
Attack the Block
will be
is
number
so
4.
good, and we need something newer so we seem hip.
Attack the Block is number 4.
I am hip.
Planet of the Apes.
What are you talking about?
Pacific Rim. They live.
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park.
Oh yes, Jurassic Park. I loves me some Jurassic Park. And then so we need what's number 2? What's the number 2 of all time?
I had The Fly in my honorable mentions.
And I have The Fly on my
But
list.
if you look, before I limited myself to making it all about aliens, The Fly was in my big 5
oh, and he
So-
marked it out because it wasn't
because it
off
was not an alien
planet.
off-planet invasion.
Whereas
movie.
you went all on planet, which is
that's-
so confusing to me.
Isn't Sean? That's the way Sean and I are, man. We're yings and yangs. The only problem I have with The Fly is if you put it on there, you got 2 Jeff Goldblums back to back.
So,
So what?
Just
dude,
throwing-
I
was
could
just
do
throwing
the
that out
entire list of Jeff
Nothing
Goldblum.
but
I could
Jeff
do a
Goldblum
Jeff
science fiction
Goldblum
movies.
sci-fi list
Yeah,
easily.
All right.
Exactly.
Here you go.
Independence Day, The Fly, the Jurassic Park.
Thor Ragnarok.
I haven't seen it yet. Don't
Thor
tell me
Ragnarok.
anything.
But what's the Earth Girls Are Easy?
Earth Girls Are Easy. He's in that.
Easy, yeah. All right, all right, I'm gonna name it now. Number 5, Planet of the Apes. Number 4, Attack the Block. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Number 2, The Fly. Number 1, greatest sci-fi movie of all time, Earth Girls Are Easy.
What?
Do I understand you correctly?
What? Sorry, I put the wrong thing.
Exactly. Do I understand you correctly? Let's re-rack it, reread it proper.
Planet of the Apes, Attack the Block, Jurassic Park, The Fly. Number 1, greatest sci-fi movie of all time, Alien.
The MJ and the Boys Big 5.
That went really well.
You should feel good about yourself. You got one on there.
I earned it. I earned it.
Way to
It
go,
was
Sticky.
more of a pity.
No, it wasn't. Planet of the Apes completely belongs.
Oh, that's a totally great sci-fi movie. It's just not as good as any of the ones Sean and I mentioned.
She comes and this is her third show, and I've already become the fucking doormat.
When you're right, you're right.
It's like I'm just like the doormat. It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
your fault that Sean's right about movies. It's not your fault.
I got movies and music covered, and books.
All the things that require intelligence.
You got comics,
yeah, you have to be able to read.
and you're better this year at fantasy football than I am this year.
Oh, see, that's hot, Sticky. That's cool.
I beat you in the championship 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and I went 12, 13, and 1 last year.
And I beat you by 1/10 of a point last
That's
week.
true, you did.
That was awesome.
And me with my number one pick.
Can't believe
out
I'm
for the
saying this. I
season.
almost want to be in your league.
All right. You would destroy the both of us.
You're in next year. Let's go ahead and figure
yeah,
it. You're
we
in next
really
year.
need someone. Okay, Sean, what is your Thanksgiving song about birds?
My Thanksgiving song about birds is by one of the greatest guitar players, country music performers in the history of the genre, and any genre really. He's one of the best guitar players ever. It's called "The Bird." It's by Jerry Reed.
Great pick. I thought about this one. It's a good one.
Well, my throat was dry and it was getting late. I was at this bar on an interstate when a guy with this bird on his shoulder walked through the door. Yeah. He proceeded to tell me the wildest thing. He said, "Sir, this bird of mine can sing like no other bird you have ever heard before." Well, I kind of looked at the guy and said, "Oh, really?" He turned to the bird and said, "Do old Willie." When the bird started singing, I almost fell in the floor.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let a memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I've got to take care of me.
Well, if that ain't the darndest thing. Well, I thought, son, what a heck of a thing. A man could get rich making that bird sing, and I could feel this wild idea coming on strong. And besides, I'm sitting here with 2 weeks pay, and I'd probably blow it on beer anyway. Then he said, "Hey, when did you hear him sing like George Jones?" He stopped loving her today. A place to read upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. I said, "Well, that does it, sir. Yep, I'd like to buy that bird with $500 taken off your hands, huh?" Well, he thought for a while, and he said, "All right." He handed me the bird, and he said, "Good night." He counted my money, and out the door he ran. Well, I was thinking I'd found the rainbow's end, that the money would soon be pouring in, when suddenly the bird just flew out the door and was gone. Well, then it hit me. I got boiling mad because I knew right then that I'd been had. And as he flew off into the night, he was singing this song.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Somebody stop that bird!
The life I love is making money with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again.
My bird!
I just can't wait to get on the road again.
My $500!
Life I love is making money with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Somebody give me a BB gun!
Road again.
I want that bird!
I can't wait to get on the road again.
This is for the bird!
Life I love is making money with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again.
All right, welcome back to MJ and the Boys. You lucky bastard. Sean, tell us about the song.
Yeah,
we
you
just
lucky
heard.
bastard. You got like 4 songs in one. Let's hear it again. Oh, I'm sorry. You got like 4 singers in one. You got a little Willie Nelson, On the Road Again. You got Whiskey River. You got George Jones. He stopped loving her today. All sung by Jerry Reed. That's The Bird from 1982, I think. Is
You
when
are 100% correct when you say Jerry Reed's one of the greatest guitarists.
He's one of the
all time.
great
He's
guitar
fantastic.
players ever.
Completely underrated, or he doesn't get the credit he's due because of
No.
his terrible genre of music that he's part of.
And also, he appeared. That's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. Country music is
Country music is fantastic.
very good. Matter of fact, when we do our big 5 albums of the year this year, I think maybe at least 2, maybe 3 are going to be country albums.
Okay, well that's wonderful, Sean. Nevertheless, he doesn't get the credit he's
No,
due,
he does
probably because he's a member in country music.
Well, and because he's funny.
Yeah, and because he's funny.
He does comedy country songs,
Yeah,
and also appeared on Scooby Doo.
and he was the coach in The Waterboy,
And he was
the
coach
evil
in the
coach,
Waterboy, yeah.
the evil coach in Waterboy.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And-
good. It's just as good as
I don't like Adam Sandler that
Hot
much.
Tub. No, you wouldn't like this movie then.
No.
And he was what was his CB handle? I can't remember what his CB handle was in
BJ and the Bear.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Anyway,
The Ghost,
He did the
Ghost
Eastbound and
Rider?
Down song.
Ghost Rider.
so
I
we're
can't remember.
That might be
recommending Jerry Reed.
Yes,
Jerry
go
Reed's
download
fantastic.
go buy everything Jerry Reed ever
I
did.
think it's really awesome that he and his brother Lou both got famous in different styles of music. So
Yeah.
you didn't know that?
No, that he and Lou Reed were brothers.
Yeah, they're best friends and brothers. So it's time for nerd.
They're buried next to each
Stuff.
other.
They have one of those amulets that breaks into two
Does
half
anybody want to
hearts.
sing the open to nerd stuff? It doesn't have to
Oh.
be
Time
about
for
me.
nerd stuff. Sticky doesn't know how to read or say consonants, but he knows about comic books. Only the speech bubbles, though.
There's too many words. Too many words in comic books. All right, so I'm gonna read some headlines here.
Is that the Crow or is that the Joker?
That is The Crow, and they are rebooting the movie The Crow. I actually pulled the story for MJ. I didn't know she wasn't going to be here. The Crow reboot will be starring Jason Momoa, the guy from plays Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
He's
He's gonna be the
Game
Crow.
of Thrones dude, right? The
Yeah, he's
Rocky
Drago.
King
Yeah.
guy.
And he's going to
Drago.
be, and he's also Aquaman, and he's going to be the
Isn't
Crow.
he kind of giant and ripped
He's
to be the
huge.
Crow? He's huge. Brandon Lee was kind of a skinny, lithe
Well-
little fucker.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now the Crow's going to be giant and ripped.
Also, just fuck them. Let a movie live.
Yeah, I'd almost just leave the
They
Crow
got to
alone.
reboot everything, man.
It's not even 25 years old.
No, it's time for a reboot, though.
Is it?
I don't know.
Are people sitting around clamoring?
I don't know. I like
Also,
the Crow.
I
when
always
it came
question
out.
these things. I'm
I
like,
think-
who wants it?
Here's the thing that, okay, I
I
wasn't.
mean, there's an entire new generation of goth kids, I guess.
I feel like
Are there?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
it's sort of like when we were talking off the air about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Total Recall.
Yeah.
When there's a movie that came out, even if it's not that old, if the concept of the movie is really good, but the timing, like the time period in which the movie came out, in the Crow's case, in the early 90s,
Yeah.
sort of dated it, made it cheesy or whatever.
It does look very early 90s. If
Right,
you
The
rewatch
Crow
it, you can
does not-
tell
it
the
doesn't
era that it was
stand
made
up.
in.
It,
Yeah.
it doesn't hold the test of time. It's not a classic. Like, Back to the Future is perfect. It just perfect the way
classic.
it is, right?
It's the way it
the
is.
Goonies, even though it's dated in the 80s, it's perfect the way it is. Doesn't need. But The Crow, people see that as like, oh, think of what we can do with it now, with
Right.
with the way technology and CGI is, whatever.
And they do that sometimes with movies. I mean, I heard they're remaking Pet Cemetery, which is a classic idea in a shit movie.
Yeah. So,
And I'm all for it because
Except for the one scene where the kid pops out with the razor and slices Fred Gwynn's ankle.
yeah, his Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
That's rough. You're right.
That makes me cringe.
yeah,
every
that makes
time
me
I watch
cringe
it.
every time.
I love Fred Gwynn though, so I don't know
Yeah.
how they're going to.
Also, would you do me a favor?
Yeah.
He's my least favorite part of that movie.
Fred Gwynn is your least favorite part of the movie. He's the only redeeming quality in the movie.
He's
must
terrible.
really hate that
I
movie.
hate that movie so much. I could go on, but I'll stop.
yeah. Star of Total Recall. What's his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Okay. Because you've been saying Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Are you just doing that? Are you just doing that to be?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just.
Yeah, but
making
he doesn't
sure.
know what consonants are, so he's just going to
Yeah,
drop
I know.
them here, there, everywhere.
The extra consonants.
Consonants.
Okay, please
I do love you, Sticky.
proceed with your nerd stuff. Oh, nerdy one.
Nintendo is making an animated Super Mario Brothers movie.
All right. Well, now if Bob Hoskins isn't involved, Well, then probably
No,
better.
Bob Hoskins. No, it's going to be animated. Actually, it'll probably be great. I have no follow up to that.
What's the plot going to be? Is it just going to be him going
It's
through
just
different
his day-
levels,
Yeah,
rescuing?
It's his day-to-day life
Just
as a
his day-
plumber.
It's going to be the day after
He
Thanksgiving.
goes around and unclogs toilets.
It's his business. He has to
He never goes to rescue the Peach Princess because
Yeah.
it's Black Friday and he's got too many
Black Friday,
toilets
He
to
has to
steal.
get Luigi to help him
And it's
out
going
because
to be
he's swamped.
a big indie film. An allegory for
So
the
last
for the
week,
consumption of American society.
last week I mentioned that they were going to.
too much turkey.
Oh my God.
Was that your Italian accent?
That's my
Sean?
Italian plumber
It's
accent.
really good.
Why you no use a paper towel? Paper towel don't dissolve.
Don't put the paper towel.
Don't put the paper towel in the toilet. Just to clog at the drain. Sorry.
Wow, that must have a much better story than I thought it was going to be. Okay, last week I mentioned that they were talking about replacing Ben Affleck as Batman. Or
Yeah.
Ben Affleck himself said he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, he
anymore.
didn't want to do it.
So they asked the one of the producers, I guess. Oh no, the director, Matt Reeves, and this is or one of the producers. This is a quote from him. I'm hesitant to say anything, but I talked to a Hollywood producer yesterday. They gave me the name of who Matt Reeves wants to replace Ben Affleck with as Batman. I've got to be honest with you. The name caught me a little bit by surprise. I called somebody else later and said, hey, I heard this. Is there any validity to this? And they said, well, Matt does want him. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to
Jesse
happen.
Eisenberg, isn't it?
That doesn't mean it's going to happen. But there's been no movement or
Michael
anything
Cera.
like that. I actually know who they're talking about.
Michael Cera.
You're close. Michael Cera as Batman. That would be so awesome.
No, he's obviously Robin.
He was great in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, that's true.
Jake Gyllenhaal is actually who they're talking about, and that's not a joke.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he's all right.
yeah, he's all right. I don't know, man. Batman's supposed to be charismatic. Why do they keep casting people that are not remotely charismatic? They're boring.
I don't think you can have a perfect Batman. I don't think there is one.
Probably not, because Bruce Wayne and Batman are so different. They're going to do one part probably pretty well and the other part
Right,
kind of
that's-
sucky because they're completely different.
Yeah, that's usually
I think
how it's
Michael
gone.
Keaton was pretty damn close, though.
Keaton was not bad. I liked Keaton.
Okay, I would say Keaton was probably my favorite Batman. But that being said, he is like Jerry Seinfeld. Michael Keaton can't not be funny. Now he can. Actually, he was really sinister as the Vulture. But back in those days, even when he was trying to be badass, it made me snicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, he is kind of like a caustic wit all the time,
Yeah.
even if he doesn't mean it.
So that's your vocabulary is just really off the charts.
I'm not drunk this week.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Batman kind of off kilter humored as well?
I don't know. I never read a
Oh, you've
Batman
never
comic.
read the
No.
Batman comics,
All I
'cause there
know
are
is
too many words.
I play Batman the video game.
Sure.
Arkham
Yeah.
Asylum or whatever. That's who Batman should be. To me, that's Batman, and they can't do that because it's a video game character.
Right.
You know, whatever. Speaking of things that Sean hates,
Superman?
no,
Are we gonna
Lord of
talk
the
about
Rings.
Superman?
Okay,
Ugh.
they asked
See?
John Rhys
It's
Davies.
just boring. Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
is
you know who that
boring.
is, right? John.
Yeah, he was
John
the
Rhys Davies.
Gimlet. or
He
whatever
played
the fuck his
Gimli
name
in
was.
Lord of the Rings. He was also Sulla
Yeah,
in the
Sulla
Indiana
in the
Jones
Indiana
movies.
Jones movies.
I am the monarch
Oh,
of
of course.
sea.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Sala. Okay.
Yeah, he was Sulla.
I don't
in-
watch that Lord of the Rings shit, but I know who
So
Sala is.
He.
I'm sorry, they're really boring.
Oh Jesus! You guys, it's the greatest story ever told. He played a dwarf, Gimli. Anyway, they asked him.
I'm pretty sure that was the Bible.
No, yeah, no. Lord of the Rings wasn't in the Bible. I don't think. Anyway,
Cares about
they
as
asked
much
him
weight.
what do you think about the new Middle Earth TV series coming to Amazon, and he says it's just a disgrace. I mean, poor Tolkien must be spinning in his grave.
Right, they're making a TV series of the Tolkien
Yeah, don't
stories.
you listen to the never mind.
No, I do listen to the show,
It's
but
coming
I
to
didn't realize
Amazon.
that it was
When
going to be a
anybody
full.
mentions Lord of the Rings, she
It's
just
gonna be
falls
a-
Well,
asleep.
I do kind of tune out because I don't care
It's
about
gonna
those
be-
things.
I ripped it apart last week.
The Amazon Middle Earth TV series is going to be set in the time period between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So it'll be after The Hobbit, but before The Lord of the Rings. Okay.
So those Hobbit movies actually take place before the Lord of
Yeah,
the
the
Rings
Hobbit-
movies?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Hobbit is the founder. The Hobbit is the Hobbit is the Old Testament, and Lord of the Rings is the New Testament.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah,
That is correct. So anyway, this television series is going to be
Why?
In between. What?
Does Gimlet think that Tolkien would be spinning in his grave?
Well, he doesn't. I don't know. It's a long article, and I didn't feel like reading it all. But
The magic box that makes pictures is witchcraft. I mean, who knows what he would think? Didn't he die like 150 years ago?
That's not true. I did read the article.
Did he not write about that period? Or are they not basing it off of the source work? They're just making it up.
That is why Gimli doesn't like it, because they've mined all of Tolkien's work.
Oh, so this will be like their own material.
The fucking Lord of the Rings movies were 43 hours each.
Right. They were 4 hours each, and so there's nothing else. So anything that they create from here on out is not Tolkien, but just based on Tolkien.
Just based on
and
Tolkien. That usually doesn't go very well.
It doesn't. And I mean, The Hobbit's a perfect example. The stuff that's, if you watch the 3 terrible Hobbit movies, the stuff that's from the book The Hobbit is really entertaining. But that could have been a 90-minute movie.
Right.
Instead, it was 3-hour movies. So everything else that Peter Jackson created just to go in The Hobbit was dreadful. I mean, it was impossible to sit through.
Right.
And so, right. That is why he doesn't.
So now it'll be a whole show of new content.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole show of new content.
Just set in that universe.
Correct. Here's something interesting. Marvel Comics has sent out wedding invitations. You're invited to the wedding of the century in 2018. But it's a big surprise. Who's getting married? Oh, I don't know. Is it the Black Panther and Storm? No, they've already been married and divorced. Peter Parker and Mary Jane getting back together.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is Captain America?
Who are those
Red
2
Skull?
handsome male fellows in the bottom? Is it going to be
It could be a
gay wedding,
yeah,
like
it could
a
be
Marvel
gay
gay wedding?
Is that the 2 most recent Spider-Man?
No, it's not the 2 most recent Spider-Man. Those 2 guys are 2 gay mutants. I can't remember their names. North Star and Kyle Jinadu.
Kyle. What kind of superhero
Kyle is
name
not a
Kyle?
superhero name, man. Kyle sounds like he does my taxes.
North Star and Kyle.
Like Batman and Robin. So the wedding of the century, June 20th, 2018.
I think it's Tom Brady and that blonde-haired girl in the bottom.
That is Cyclops and no, I don't know who that is either.
You think that looks like Brady and Gazelle?
down on the left. Yeah.
Or is it Giselle? Giselle.
Anyway, we got one more thing. I got slap-backed about my love. I last week I mentioned that Beta Ray Bill shows up in the background of Thor Ragnarok. No spoiler there. It's an Easter egg, and I was geeked out about it because I love Beta Ray Bill. You know who Beta Ray Bill is?
No.
He's Space Horse Skeleton Thor.
Space Horse Skeleton Thor.
Yeah, he's Thor from another planet, but
and he's a horse.
He's a horse, but he's a skeleton.
Okay.
And he has his own hammer, not Mjolnir, but Stormbreaker.
There's more than one Mjolnir?
No, it's not Mjolnir. He has his own hammer. It's Stormbreaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it get a cool name that you get to pronounce in a funny
Because
way?
somebody in the 90s came up with that as opposed to someone in like the 15th century.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
I loved it. I was talking about this, the Beta Ray Bill is in the background of this, movie, and I got
It's the MJ and the Boys Slapback.
one of our loyal listeners, bitches,
Loyal listeners and one of the local Mike Kings, Adam Gumbert.
our favorite non-MJ and the Boys podcast, Mike Kings.
That's correct. He says, I'd like to slap back you for being a Beta Ray Bill fan.
Quote.
And if you couldn't hear the quotes that I just did, a fan. Let's pretend there wasn't already a Beta Ray Bill Easter egg in Guardians 1. Google it. Lol. Much love, though.
I think it's LOL, Sean. But I did Google it. And there is a character in the collector's menage. What's it called?
There are too
Menagerie?
many. Yeah,
Menagerie,
a menagerie. There are too
Yes, in
many.
the collector's menage a trois.
There's like
His-
27
his-
Easter eggs dropped into one scene right there. They're
Right.
using the collector as a way to throw all this extra stuff in for excited people,
Right.
and I don't know any of
There
it.
was there was a character in his Mirage.
So is there like
Menagerie
a
à Trois.
skeleton horse I need to look
And
for when
I've got
rewatch
here.
it?
It's a guy in a red cape, and James Gunn on Twitter came out with a picture, and it said, "That's who you guys are talking about. That is totally not Beta Ray Bill. So James Gunn,
Wait, let me see the
director of
picture.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's not a horse.
No, you can't tell. It's the back of a
just
guy.
a-
and he's got a
it's
red
just a sad
cape on.
guy.
I'm pretty
wearing
sure
a
it's not a
jumpsuit.
horse, though. Didn't you say Beta Ray Bill
Beta
was
Ray-
a horse?
he's like a horse skeleton.
It's
Here,
just
I'll
a
show you
sad
picture.
guy in a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So Beta Ray Bill was not in Guardians of the Galaxy. Adam Gumbert.
yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're doing a slapback, I know this is nerd stuff, but
Oh, okay. That's okay.
somebody slap backed at Mary Jane as well.
Oh, good.
A Cowboys fan.
Oh,
How long have you known me, MJ? Fuck. I guess I have to forgive you since I doubt they teach anyone to read past the second letter in Powell County. That was our guest co-host
that was
here,
me.
Carrie, last week when MJ, for God knows what reason, thought she was a Dallas Cowboy fan.
She called me a huge.
Dallas Cowboy
Cowboys
because
fan.
they're blue and white, and your team is blue and white,
And they both start with a C.
And MJ wouldn't know.
And they second letter is an O.
and MJ starts
And that's
with a
as far
C.
as she goes. Is the
no.
C and the O, and she's just like, oh, it's the same shit.
Yeah,
I told her
so
she owes me 3 shots.
3 shots of your choosing.
But I stood
Of
up
my
for you,
choosing.
Karen. Hey, I
That's
stood
right.
up for you, didn't I?
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
right. You did. Sticky knew what my team was,
did.
and you've only known me like a year.
That's right.
What the hell is wrong with her?
She's a bad friend and a bad co-host.
I don't think she can read.
an all-around bad
we're
person.
almost out of time. So just really quickly, I watched Baby Driver over the weekend.
Oh, I've heard that's so good. Was it
It's
good?
Pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
my buddy told me to see it in the theater, and I didn't get it done. I feel a little bit bad. He said it was amazing.
The story was, the story was kind of weak, but
Well, I heard that they use music as part of the plot.
the music was amazing in every
Yeah.
genre, from rock to rap and everything in between.
But he said the application of the music, which within the film, is different than anything he'd seen before.
Yeah.
And I have a movie
Yeah.
buff buddy that's always telling me shit to see.
If
He said
you-
it was good.
If you love the music part of it, yeah, you're gonna love this movie.
Right.
I don't think that guy, the young kid, the Baby Driver guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's not as charming. Like I sort of likened him to from
Me?
Kingsman.
Oh.
The young guy in Kingsman, because they're
Yeah,
about the
Tim
same
Edgerton.
age, whatever. He's not as charming as him. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But it was pretty good.
Was it pretty good?
It was pretty good.
It's on my list to
I
watch.
also rented The House with Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler, where they turn their house out in the suburbs into a gambling casino.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, they're running into Oh no.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with our rating system, Finally Found the Love of a Lifetime, we believe to be the worst song ever written.
Yeah, probably so.
So that represents this movie, which is so fucking terrible. I cannot believe it. I think that Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler should legally have to write checks to every single person who's ever seen this movie and mail them out. Holy shit. It was that bad?
Oh
my God, it was so bad.
Who chose that? Did you choose that?
Yeah, I chose.
You
Well, I
that?
chose it because I thought my wife would like it.
Ah.
Well, when it's something actiony, Baby
Yeah.
Driver, it's something light, for afterwards.
Were you at the
whatever.
Red Box? There's
I
not
was
a
at
lot
the
in the
Red
Red
Box.
Box right now.
That was
There's
at
not
the
much
Red
in there.
Box.
Yeah.
Where's my little thing?
Oh, ding.
But
We're out of video stores in Lexington, Kentucky, everyone. So you have to go to the Red Box. There's nowhere else to go.
To the
I guess
Red
the
Box.
library.
You'd be better served digging through the $5 bin of Blu-rays
well,
in the back of the Walmart.
I don't know. It had Will Ferrell in it. I mean, that's the problem. Will Ferrell is just
Oh, he's
know
so
what?
hit and miss, I think.
it's like this. I think they're like it's like when a band is done and they've already done their farewell tour, but they need money, so they go on tour again. Like when
Yeah, like the Eagles.
the Eagles or the two guys left in the Who, they go on tour and then they play and they suck. But
Yeah.
people go and they pay their money anyway because they love them. Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler, they just like they put no effort into it.
Yeah.
The movie wasn't.
They're just
funny. The
collecting
script
a
wasn't funny.
paycheck.
All the extras in the movie were they were friends. You recognized them from all their other Will Ferrell movies,
Mm-hmm.
And they're just they just wanted them. They needed money, so they made
Yeah.
this shitty movie. Fuck them. Fuck that movie. Sean, you saw The Punisher?
Saw the first episode
And?
of The Punisher. The first episode was fine. I'll watch the rest of it. It's a little slow moving in the first episode. He's setting the groundwork. Starts out
all
with
those Netflix shows.
starts
move
out with a
slowly.
bang, but it was slow moving after that. And Belle watched the whole thing.
Would she like it or no?
She did. She liked
Yeah.
it. She said it was the most violent thing she's
A
ever
lot of my friends have been
Wow.
telling me they like it.
No, I believe that it's great. I just hate,
It
I just
probably
hate
is.
The Punisher.
Yeah, you don't
know
like
what
the
I mean?
Punisher, right?
You know
Well,
what-
because he's
like-
not a superhero.
Well, apparently John Barenthal is fantastic.
Yes.
Ah, man, I don't know. I only watched like the first season of The Walking Dead because that show sucks balls. Did you hear me, MJ? That show sucks. I only watched like the first season, and Barenthal was in it, and I didn't think he was that great.
He was not that great.
He
in
was
it.
not very
And
good in that show.
I have continued to watch The Walking Dead because I am a masochist.
I actually watched it for like another 4 seasons because I enjoyed disliking
Yeah,
it.
that's about.
I'd go to our local watering hole where they would have it on the sound on Sunday nights, and I'd go in there and talk about how much it sucked just to bother people because I'm a bitch. And I stopped doing that. It got so bad I couldn't even hate it anymore.
listen.
I watch it because of Lenny James in hopes that he'll be.
That's fair.
Featured
That's
more
fair.
because
Morgan, he's a great actor.
He is the greatest actor in the show by far.
Yeah.
I got a text from my friend who lives in Los Angeles, and my friend, who I'm not going to name, sent me this text after last week when we were talking about The Punisher and John Bernthal.
Sure, yeah.
And this person wrote me and said, I didn't know John Bernthal was playing the Punisher. I know his brother. He's one of the slimiest, douchiest, most ass-kissiest, white cracker, milquetoast dickwads I've ever met. We're good friends. Har har, JK, I can't stand him. So that's got nothing to do with nothing. I just thought
stand
that
the
was really
brother.
funny. John,
Yeah, if his
John
brother's a
Bernthal's
dick, odds
brother.
are on he's a dick too.
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Raised by the same parents, though.
He was in Baby Driver for about 10
I don't know.
seconds.
Oh,
Bernthal
yeah?
was,
My
Barenthal?
sister and I were raised by the same parents, and I am a paragon of virtue, and she's a terrible person.
There you go. And
Yeah,
on
well-
that note, with the show's over, I guess, but I get to play
Yes,
my
Sticky,
my-
what's your
my
song?
What's your song? I want to hear it.
I went.
I
with,
promise.
I went.
Oh,
With,
I almost picked this.
I went with "Birdhouse in Your Soul"
This is a great song.
by They Might Be Giants. I almost went with Randy Scoo's "Get," but I'm going to save that for when MJ's here to infuriate her. That's
a good idea.
Here is "They Might Be Giants," "Birdhouse in Your Soul."
Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells. So the room must listen to me, filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T-E. My story's infinite, like the Lockheed Symphony. It doesn't rest. Blue Canary in the alley by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I'm your only friend, I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend, but really I'm not actually your friend, but I am. There's a picture opposite me of my primitive ancestry, which stood on rocky shores and kept the beaches shipwreck free. Though I respect that a lot, I'd be fired if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, new bird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always near. New canary in the alley by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the night light on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too
hate dumb people.
Dumb.
I didn't say you were dumb.
They Might Be Giants. Birdhouse in Your Soul. You know, I sang that one time at karaoke.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I nailed it. I know every word to it, right?
Awesome.
Blue canary in the alley by the light switch. Who watches over you? I nailed it. And when I got done, the karaoke master or whatever, the DJ guy, he looked at me. He said, "What was that?" And I said, "Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants." And he looked at his partner and goes, "We need to take that out of the list."
They took it out of the karaoke book.
Remove that from the karaoke machine.
Oh, man. Well, that's a shitty karaoke guy. That's a good song. He's wrong.
So that's it. I hope you guys have, happy holidays or whatever.
Happy Thanksgiving, you
Happy
guys.
Thanksgiving.
God, you're so enthusiastic.
No devices. No devices at your Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, thanks again for coming in, filling in for MJ.
Oh, no problem. I
You
have
gonna
a
come
good
back
time.
next week?
Thanks for. Yeah, I can come back
You
next
don't
week.
have to. We can find someone else.
Well, it's up to you. Do you want
No,
somebody
no,
else?
we want you to. You're the permanent guest host.
I have no problem
I
coming
mean,
in.
if
This
you
is
really
way better
don't
than
want to, you don't have to come in. I know we invited you, but
All right.
No, I enjoy it. I'll be
then
back.
Carrie will be back next week. And Sean, I guess you'll be back next week as well.
I will probably be back next week.
You should try and find a big five list that makes us disagree. Try and think of something that
okay.
we don't agree on.
I can do that.
That would be
You're in
interesting.
charge of making the big five list.
I will do that. And in the meantime,
Oh, God.
check
What have
us
we
out find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even MySpace, as well as, I don't know,
MySpace.
some other thing. I know, MySpace
What
is,
year is it?
dude, MySpace is awesome. You should see it.
I did log
We're
back in
so
after you
active
did that
on it.
episode where you figured
Yeah.
out that you and
Yeah.
Melissa looked up her old or
It was
MJ's
great.
looked up her old on MySpace. I tried to do that and I logged into mine and it's still there.
Yeah.
But it's just sad and old.
It goes, no, it scrolls sideways instead of up and down. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
fuck that. I hate
know,
that. I
it's
hate scrolling
really strange.
sideways.
But whatever. We're out there is what I'm trying to say. And frankly,
Yeah.
I want some more followers on Instagram. So come on, people, get on there. Follow us.
We'll be back next week with the big five most obscure comic book characters.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
that sounds
Rita Ray Bill.
sucky.
This is MJ and the Boys. You lucky bastards.